Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, July 1st. We are looking at window traders. Market profile of SPY, IWM, and triple Qs. A lot to talk about. We're going to recap all three of these indices charts as we head into the third quarter. First and foremost, I want to wish everybody a very safe and happy 4th of July weekend. Long weekend. Stay safe and enjoy yourselves. Rest up. I think the second half of the year could be just as much fun as the first half, as we had tremendous ranges all 6 months. Volume was actually still pretty good. Even today turned out to be more. We had a range of $7.90. I really didn't expect that. We almost had an inside day, broke out of it late. Russell broke out of yesterday's range early, failed, and then took it out late again. Triple Qs had an inside day. Okay? So triple Qs never took out yesterday's high or low. We all had wide pocs to start, and then we got away from them. 9 wide for Qs, 8 for Russell, 8 for us. I'll go over all the charts, but we are now clearly in a 3-day balance. Okay? So it'll be interesting to see what transpires, and I'll give you my thoughts when we go over the charts. I had an okay day today. Didn't do a lot. The day was, it certainly stretched more and acted a little weirder than I thought it might, but I'm kind of not surprised once we started getting legs. They tried early. The sellers had their chance early. Well, first of all, the buyers had their chance when they took out A's high and then just got rejected. Then sellers had their chance. We had a reversal bar in B, went down in C, took out the afternoon pullback, had every possibility to go take out that low and go for the weekly low. Instead, we hold this, which becomes our weekly low now from yesterday. And then we spend 8 time frames just grinding all over, and then we come out of a 3-hour, 2.5-hour balance and 1 time frame up 5 time frames, and shorts start getting taken apart. As far as my trade, so in A, when A pushed up pretty good, I was expecting an inventory adjustment, and I took a short because I thought it got stretched out pretty quickly with the 381 puts. And again, it was nothing big, and I got paid as it pulled back. B period, after it took out A's high and then went back down, I didn't want to take a long right away, but then when it was sitting here and it couldn't get much below L's low, looked to get long, didn't get it. They were spreading these options, and that's one problem with options at times, the way they spread the quotes on them. So never got it. And then the same thing happened to me in C on the short. I thought we would. I thought we were going to defend the one-time framing. So right before the 9:40, the 10:15 turnover, I went to take a short. Again, didn't get it. So, and that was going to be a big one. So I thought they would defend both the opening and the 144. Didn't get it. So missed 2 plays there in B and C. I did then take a long in C to go fill the single prints. And that worked out, the 373 calls. So did well on the 373 calls. It would have been real, because at the time I was looking for that short, we had the single prints, and I thought they would hold them. And I went to go buy 125, and again, they were spread, and I didn't get them. That would have been a real home run trade early in the day. After that, it became pure rotational, but back and forth through the opening, which is no conviction, wide POC. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything till I thought maybe, at first I thought G could be the afternoon rally high, but when I got up, I took a short. I'm like, well, let's see if they're going to hold half back at the time, and D's high. It didn't. I took it off for a loss, nothing big. And then in K period, I took a long, thinking we'd finally pop the top. Excuse me. And I got paid on that. Didn't do anything in L or M. L had a reversal bar, took out K's low, then took out the high, and then M finally had a decent time frame, as opposed to the last couple of days where he was kind of locked in for the last 2 days. As we go out with a price probe and a spike, I like to differentiate between the two of them. It'll be important, though, B's high, to see if we hold that come Tuesday. As far as our destinations, the upside will be today's high of 381.70. then the top of our balance, which is Wednesday's high of 382.27, and then you should have all the single prints I gave from that night. So if you don't have them, please go back to that video. I have all the single prints I gave from that day. On the downside, I'm going to use both of them. I'll use L's high is 380.67 and then 380.03. So that between those two, L's high and B's high, if bulls are really serious what they did today, they should hold that and go test the top of our 3-day balance and then maybe get above it. Then below that, there's nothing because again, I only use 9 wide or more, and give me 1 second. I only use 9 wide or more, and we're only 8 wide. So F's low of 374.90 is our afternoon pullback. Today's low of 373.80, and then yesterday's low, which is the weekly low of 372.56. Now let's go to the charts. Schwab has had problems going down. I'm hoping it's up right now. Hope we don't keep losing it. So let's go and start breaking down, obviously, Russell from the top down. So Russell finished the month, right? Yesterday, poor month, they're down. Today's the first day of the quarter. Again, my real big level is still 173.39, which they closed below. Okay, that was their all-time high. Took them almost 2 years to get back over it. When they did, they finally exploded. Then they had a huge balance, ripped to their all-time high, back into that balance, and since then, basically they have gone bear, balance, bear. Now, obviously, for any real change, we have to take out last month's high, which is 190.94. But the first step is to get back above 173.39. So the monthly is down. Weekly is up. Now, they never filled that weekly gap. Oh, yes, they did. I take that back. I apologize. They filled that gap. They have a daily gap still. They did fill that gap. So the weekly is up. So the monthly is down. The weekly is up. The daily is balance. It's a 3-day balance. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll see how we come out of it. So down on the monthly, up on the weekly, balance on the daily. Pretty much all of us are going to be like that. Triple Qs. Down on the monthly. Now again, last month they got to 269.28. The next big target was that 260, 265 level, right? 260, 267 level. Never got it, but they're still down. This month just started. So obviously they want to hold last month's low. If you hold last month's low, then maybe you hold this bottom here and we start going back. But for now, the monthly is down. The weekly is balance. We took out last week's high, but we also took out last week's low, okay? And we closed at 294.61. We we closed at 282.23. What am I saying? So we last week's low is right. So it's still balanced for us. Okay? So there's still balance on the weekly. They had a chance for an outside week up, chance for an outside week down. They end in balance. So the monthly is down, the weekly is balance. The daily never took out yesterday's high. So I would technically, this does not stop the one-time framing down. So technically the daily is still down, but it was an inside day. So if you want to call it down to balance, that's fine. It was an inside day, but it does not stop the one-time framing until you take out a daily high. So we have something to look forward to when they come out of the inside day on Tuesday, whether it's to the upside or downside. So the monthly is down, the weekly is balanced, the daily is down to balance. And you see, I just lost my connection there. Hopefully it's going to come right back up. See that? This has been happening all day. Good thing I only use them for charts. So let's do SPY before that happens again. Monthly is down. That does not change, right? Nothing changed there. So we have a long way to figure out if we're going to have an inside month. Are we going to take out last month's low, last month's high? But right now the monthly is firmly down. The weekly is up. Even though we pulled back a lot this week, we never took out last week's low. So the weekly is up. Okay? And the daily is balance. It's a 3-day balance. If we come out of that 3-day balance to the upside, the daily will be up. If we come out of it to the downside, the daily will be down. Now, a lot of things here on the daily. If we come out of this 3-day balance to the downside, that means taking out a weekly low, and the weekly would go back to at least balance. So that's number one, so that bulls don't want to see that. If we come out of the 3-day balance to the upside, we have that huge trend day to take back from June 28th. So there'll be a lot of work to do there, and the 20-day moving average is moving down as we speak. It's down to 386.34. So if we get out of balance to the upside and we start taking back this trend day, we would run and test probably the 20-day moving average at some point. There's your wrap-up, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate the likes and subscribing. Go check out that book, ALGO, the Alligator. I think your kids and grandkids will like it. And I think it would be kind of cute for you guys to read it because it has a lot of terms I use that I think you would find quite interesting. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Again, have a great, safe weekend. And we'll speak prior to the opening on Tuesday.